Grieving man finds freezing cat in snow. What happens next will melt your heart. The snow fell in thick, silent flakes, blanketing the small town of Willow Creek in a pristine white shroud. The wind howled through the bare branches of the ancient oak trees that lined Main Street, their skeletal silhouettes casting eerie shadows in the fading light. Inside the cozy confines of the Daily Grind coffee shop, a haven of warmth and aromatic brews, John, a man with a kind face etched with the lines of time and a heart heavy with unspoken grief, gazed out the window. The snow, a symbol of purity and renewal, seemed to mock the emptiness that gnawed at his soul. John, a retired school teacher with a gentle demeanor and a love for literature, had always found solace in the quiet rhythm of his life. His days were filled with the comforting routine of tending to his garden, browsing the shelves of the local library, and sharing stories with his beloved wife, Mary. But Mary, his soulmate and confidant, had succumbed to a long battle with illness a year ago, leaving a void in his life that no amount of books or gardening could fill. The silence in his once vibrant home echoed with her absence, the memories both a comfort and a source of unbearable pain. As the snow continued to fall, John's thoughts drifted back to a time when the world seemed brighter, when laughter filled his home, and Mary's smile illuminated his days. He remembered their walks through the snow-covered woods, their hands clasped together, their hearts beating in unison. A tear escaped his eye, tracing a path down his weathered cheek. He missed her terribly, missed her warmth, her gentle touch, her unwavering love. The world seemed colder, harsher, without her by his side. With a sigh, John finished his coffee, the warmth of the mug a fleeting comfort against the chill that had settled deep within him. He pulled on his coat, his woolen scarf, and his worn leather gloves, preparing to face the biting wind and the snow-covered streets. As he stepped out of the coffee shop, a flicker of movement in the alleyway caught his eye. A small, huddled shape, barely visible against the backdrop of snow, lay shivering in the shadows. John approached cautiously, his heart pounding with a mix of concern and curiosity. As he drew closer, he realized it was a cat, its fur matted and icy, its body trembling uncontrollably. The cat, a ginger tabby with emerald green eyes, looked up at him with a mixture of fear and desperation. Its thin body was emaciated, its ribs visible beneath its snow-dusted fur. John's heart ached for the creature, its vulnerability mirroring his own sense of loss and loneliness. He gently scooped it up, cradling it in his arms, its tiny body trembling against his warmth. "Poor thing," he murmured, his voice filled with compassion. "You must be freezing." He tucked the cat inside his coat, its warmth a surprising comfort against his chest. As he walked home, the snow crunching beneath his feet, John felt a flicker of hope ignite within him. He had found a creature in need, a creature that needed his care, his protection. And as he looked down at the cat, its eyes closed in exhausted trust, John knew that this unexpected encounter had the potential to change everything. The warmth of John's small apartment enveloped him and the cat like a comforting embrace. He gently placed the shivering creature on a soft blanket near the fireplace, where the embers glowed, casting a flickering light on the scene. The cat, still trembling, curled into a tight ball, its emerald eyes watching John with a wary curiosity. John, his heart filled with concern, knelt beside it, speaking in soothing tones. "Don't worry, little one," he murmured, his voice a gentle rumble. "You're safe now." He fetched a warm towel from the bathroom, gently drying the cat's damp fur. The cat, initially hesitant, leaned into his touch, a soft purr rumbling deep within its chest. John smiled, a rare sight these days, his heart warmed by the creature's trust. He named the cat Rusty, a fitting name for its ginger coat and the resilience it had shown in the face of the harsh winter. He prepared a makeshift bed for Rusty near the fireplace, a cozy nest of blankets and pillows. He warmed some milk, offering it to the cat in a small saucer. Rusty, hesitant at first, lapped at the milk, its hunger overcoming its fear. As the evening deepened, John settled into his armchair, a book in his lap, but his attention kept returning to Rusty. The cat, now curled up in its warm nest, slept soundly, its soft purring filling the quiet apartment. John watched it, a sense of peace settling over him. The silence, once a constant reminder of Mary's absence, now held a different quality, a comforting stillness punctuated by the rhythmic sound of Rusty's breathing. He thought of Mary, her love for animals, her gentle spirit. He imagined her here with him, her hand stroking Rusty's fur, her voice filled with delight. A bittersweet ache filled his heart, but it was tempered by a newfound warmth, a sense of connection to the creature that had stumbled into his life. As the hours passed, John found himself talking to Rusty, sharing stories of his day, his memories of Mary, his hopes and fears for the future. The cat, though unable to understand his words, seemed to sense his emotions, its presence a comforting anchor in the sea of his grief. When bedtime arrived, John hesitated. He usually slept in the guest room, unable to face the emptiness of the master bedroom, the lingering scent of Mary's perfume, the memories that haunted the space. But tonight, something felt different. He looked at Rusty, curled up in its warm nest, its eyes closed in peaceful slumber. A sense of companionship, a feeling he had long forgotten, tugged at his heart. He carefully lifted Rusty, placing the cat on the pillow beside him. Rusty, with a soft purr, snuggled closer, its warmth a comforting presence against his side. John closed his eyes, a sense of peace washing over him. The silence was no longer deafening, the memories no longer unbearable. He had found a companion, a furry friend who had unknowingly offered him a lifeline in the depths of his grief. And as he drifted off to sleep, the rhythmic sound of Rusty's purring lulling him into a peaceful slumber, John knew that this unexpected encounter had the potential to heal his wounded heart and lead him back to the light. The morning sun streamed through the window, casting a warm glow on the sleeping pair. John awoke to the gentle pressure of Rusty's weight against his chest, the cat's soft purring a soothing melody to his ears. He lay there for a moment, savoring the feeling of companionship, the warmth that had replaced the usual chill of loneliness. He looked at Rusty, its emerald eyes gazing up at him with a trusting affection that melted his heart. A smile, genuine and heartfelt, spread across his face. He hadn't felt this sense of peace, this connection, since Mary's passing. Rusty, the small creature he had found shivering in the snow, had unknowingly become a beacon of hope in the darkness of his grief. He gently stroked Rusty's fur, the cat responding with a contented purr and a gentle nudge against his hand. John felt a surge of gratitude, a recognition of the healing power of this unexpected connection. As he rose from bed, Rusty followed, its tail held high, its movements graceful and confident. John prepared breakfast, sharing his toast and coffee with his new companion. Rusty, perched on the windowsill, watched the snow fall with a curious fascination. The day unfolded with a newfound rhythm, a comforting routine that revolved around caring for Rusty. John cleaned the litter box, refilled the food and water bowls, and played with Rusty using a feather toy he found tucked away in a drawer. The silence in the apartment no longer held the same oppressive weight. It was punctuated by the soft sounds of Rusty's purring, the playful swats at the feather toy, the gentle thud of its paws as it explored its new surroundings. As John went about his day, memories of Mary surfaced, intertwined with his growing affection for Rusty. He remembered Mary's love for animals, her gentle touch, her infectious laughter. He imagined her delight at finding Rusty, her joy at witnessing the cat's healing presence in his life. A bittersweet ache filled his heart, but it was tempered by a sense of gratitude. He knew that Mary would want him to be happy, to find solace and companionship, to embrace life despite the pain of her absence. He looked at Rusty, curled up on the sofa, a picture of contentment. "Thank you, Mary," he whispered, his voice filled with emotion. "Thank you for sending me this little angel." And as the day drew to a close, John felt a renewed sense of hope, a flicker of warmth that had been absent for far too long. He knew that Rusty, the cat he had found freezing in the snow, had not only changed his life but had also reconnected him to the love and memories that would forever hold a special place in his heart. The days that followed fell into a comfortable rhythm, a gentle cadence of shared companionship between the man and the cat. John, once lost in the fog of grief, found himself drawn back into the world, his steps lighter, his heart a little less heavy. Rusty, with his playful antics and affectionate purrs, became the center of John's world. Mornings began with shared breakfasts, Rusty perched on the windowsill, watching the world awaken as John sipped his coffee and read the newspaper. Days were filled with walks through the snow-covered park, Rusty trotting alongside John, his ginger fur a bright spot against the white landscape. They would stop at the park bench, John reading aloud from his favorite books while Rusty curled up contentedly in his lap. Evenings were spent by the fireplace, the crackling flames casting dancing shadows on the walls as John recounted stories of his day to his attentive feline companion. Rusty, in turn, would weave between John's legs, purring his approval and demanding the occasional ear scratch. The silence in the house, once a constant reminder of Mary's absence, was now filled with the comforting sounds of Rusty's presence, the soft thud of his paws on the carpet, the gentle clinking of his tags as he explored his domain, the rhythmic purring that lulled John into a peaceful sleep each night. John's routine, once monotonous and lonely, now held a renewed purpose. He found himself taking more care with his appearance, shaving each morning, and choosing his clothes with a newfound attention to detail. He started cooking again, preparing simple but nourishing meals, no longer content with the solitary convenience of frozen dinners. He even ventured back into the community, joining the weekly book club at the library and striking up conversations with the other patrons. He found himself sharing stories of Rusty, his face lighting up with pride as he described his feline companion's antics. The world, once shrouded in gray, began to regain its color. The snow-covered landscape sparkled with a newfound beauty. The laughter of children in the park filled him with a sense of joy, and the simple act of breathing felt like a gift. Rusty, the cat he had found freezing in the snow, had become more than just a pet. He was a catalyst for healing, a furry companion who had gently nudged John back towards life, reminding him of the beauty and connection that still existed in the world. And as John watched Rusty chase a sunbeam across the living room floor, his heart filled with gratitude. He knew that this unexpected encounter had not only saved a cat's life but had also rekindled his own. The gentle routine of John and Rusty's life was pleasantly disrupted one sunny afternoon with a knock on the door. John, surprised by the unexpected visitor, opened it to find a woman standing on his doorstep, her face framed by a colorful knitted scarf and her eyes sparkling with warmth. "Hello," she began, her voice friendly and inviting. "I'm Emily, your neighbor from across the hall. I couldn't help but notice you walking with that beautiful ginger cat in the park. He's quite a charmer." John, a bit flustered by the unexpected attention, invited Emily in. Rusty, ever the curious one, rubbed against Emily's legs, purring his approval. Emily, a woman with a kind smile and a gentle demeanor, immediately put John at ease. They chatted about the cat, the weather, and the quiet charm of their small town. John learned that Emily was a retired librarian, a lover of books and a passionate advocate for animal welfare. They discovered a shared love for literature, discussing their favorite authors and characters with an enthusiasm that surprised them both. John, usually reserved and hesitant in social situations, found himself opening up to Emily, sharing stories of his life, his love for Mary, and the profound impact Rusty had had on his healing journey. Emily listened with empathy and understanding, her own experiences with loss and grief resonating with John's story. They found solace in their shared vulnerability, a connection that transcended the brief acquaintance. As the afternoon progressed, John offered Emily a cup of tea, and they continued their conversation, their shared laughter filling the apartment with a warmth that had been absent for far too long. When it was time for Emily to leave, John felt a pang of disappointment. He had enjoyed her company, her easy conversation, and the genuine connection they had forged. "It was lovely meeting you, John," Emily said, her smile genuine and warm. "Perhaps we could meet for coffee at the Daily Grind sometime?" John's face lit up. "I'd like that very much," he replied, his heart filled with a newfound hope. As Emily departed, John watched her walk down the hallway, Rusty rubbing against his legs as if sensing his contentment. He closed the door, a smile lingering on his face. The unexpected encounter had brought a ray of sunshine into his life, a reminder that connection and companionship were still possible, even in the aftermath of loss. And as he looked at Rusty, curled up on the sofa, John knew that this new chapter, filled with the promise of friendship and shared passions, was just beginning. The encounter with Emily opened a new door in John's life, a pathway leading him back into the world he had retreated from after Mary's passing. He found himself looking forward to their coffee dates at the Daily Grind, their conversations a comforting blend of shared passions and gentle understanding. They explored the shelves of the local library together, their shared love for literature a bond that deepened with each shared book and lively discussion. They attended lectures at the community center, their minds engaged by new ideas and perspectives. John, encouraged by Emily's warmth and support, even ventured into volunteering at the local animal shelter. He found solace in caring for the abandoned animals, his gentle touch and soothing voice a comfort to the creatures in need. Emily, with her extensive knowledge of animal care, became his mentor, guiding him through the intricacies of shelter life and sharing her passion for animal welfare. They worked side by side, cleaning cages, feeding the animals, and offering comfort to those awaiting their forever homes. Through Emily, John discovered a community of like-minded individuals, people who shared his love for animals and his desire to make a difference in the world. He attended fundraising events, participated in adoption drives, and even found himself giving presentations at the local schools, educating children about responsible pet ownership. His world, once confined to the walls of his apartment and the memories of his past, expanded to encompass a network of friendships, shared passions, and a renewed sense of purpose. He felt alive again, his heart filled with a warmth that extended beyond the companionship of Rusty. One crisp autumn afternoon, as John and Emily strolled through the park, their laughter echoing through the golden leaves, John stopped, his gaze fixed on Emily's face. "Emily," he began, his voice filled with gratitude and affection, "I can't thank you enough for coming into my life. You've helped me heal. You've opened my eyes to new possibilities, and you've shown me that connection and joy are still possible, even after loss." Emily smiled, her eyes sparkling with warmth. "John," she replied, her voice gentle and sincere, "the pleasure has been all mine. You have a kind heart and a gentle soul. I'm grateful for your friendship and the opportunity to share this journey with you." They continued their walk, their hands brushing against each other, a silent acknowledgement of the growing bond between them. The path ahead, once shrouded in uncertainty, now held the promise of companionship, shared passions, and the enduring power of human connection. The transition from grieving widower to a man embracing life again was a gradual but beautiful metamorphosis for John. His days, once filled with the heavy silence of loss, now resonated with the melodies of companionship, purpose, and newfound love. His bond with Rusty deepened, their shared routines a source of comfort and joy. Rusty, sensing the shift in John's spirit, seemed to radiate an even brighter energy, his purrs louder, his playful antics more frequent. Emily, with her gentle encouragement and shared passions, became an integral part of John's life. Their friendship blossomed, nurtured by their common love for books, their dedication to animal welfare, and their quiet understanding of the complexities of life and loss. They spent their days exploring the quaint shops and cozy cafes of Willow Creek, their laughter echoing through the streets. They volunteered at the animal shelter, their shared compassion a balm to the abandoned creatures. They curled up by the fireplace in John's apartment, sharing stories, reading aloud from their favorite books, and simply enjoying the comfortable silence of each other's company. John, once hesitant and withdrawn, found himself drawn to Emily's warmth and vivacity. He admired her intelligence, her kindness, and her unwavering optimism. He found himself looking forward to their time together, his heart filled with a flutter of excitement he hadn't felt in years. One snowy evening, as they sat by the fire, sipping hot cocoa, John reached for Emily's hand, his touch gentle and tentative. Emily, her eyes sparkling with understanding, met his gaze, a silent acknowledgement of the unspoken emotions that flowed between them. "Emily," John began, his voice soft but filled with sincerity. "I never thought I'd find happiness again after losing Mary, but you've brought light back into my life. You've shown me that love and companionship are still possible, even in the face of grief." Emily's smile was warm and reassuring. "John," she replied, her voice gentle and heartfelt, "I feel the same way. You have a kind and gentle soul, and I cherish our connection. I found solace and joy in your company." Their hands remained intertwined, their fingers laced together like the threads of a tapestry, weaving a new pattern of love and companionship. The fire crackled, casting a warm glow on their faces, illuminating the unspoken promise of a future together. As the snow fell outside, blanketing the world in a pristine white shroud, John and Emily sat together, their hearts filled with a newfound harmony, their love a testament to the enduring power of human connection and the resilience of the human spirit. The blossoming love between John and Emily brought a renewed sense of purpose and joy to their lives. They navigated the delicate dance of a new relationship with a gentle grace, their shared experiences and understanding creating a solid foundation for their love to grow. They explored the countryside surrounding Willow Creek, hand in hand, discovering hidden trails, quaint villages, and breathtaking vistas. They attended concerts and plays, their shared appreciation for the arts deepening their connection. They even took a weekend trip to the coast, their laughter echoing across the sandy beaches as they strolled along the shoreline, collecting seashells and sharing stories under the starlit sky. John, once hesitant to venture beyond the familiar comforts of his routine, embraced new experiences with an enthusiasm he hadn't felt in years. Emily, with her adventurous spirit and zest for life, encouraged him to step outside his comfort zone, to explore new passions and rediscover the joys of living. He joined her in volunteering at the local community garden, his green thumb finding a new purpose in nurturing the soil and cultivating a bountiful harvest. He even took up painting, his canvas a reflection of the vibrant colors and newfound beauty he saw in the world. Their love story became a cherished tale in Willow Creek, a testament to the enduring power of connection and the resilience of the human spirit. Neighbors greeted them with warm smiles and knowing glances, their happiness a beacon of hope in the close-knit community. However, navigating the complexities of a new relationship in the shadow of past love brought its own set of challenges. John, despite his growing affection for Emily, found himself grappling with feelings of guilt and a lingering sense of loyalty to Mary's memory. He would often find himself lost in thought, comparing Emily's vibrant energy to Mary's quiet grace, their laughter to the gentle echoes of memories past. He worried that embracing a new love would somehow diminish the love he had shared with Mary, a love that had shaped his life and held a sacred place in his heart. Emily, sensing his internal struggle, offered him space and understanding. She encouraged him to talk about Mary, to share his memories, to honor the love that had shaped him. She reassured him that loving her did not diminish his love for Mary. It simply added another layer to the tapestry of his life. John, touched by her empathy and wisdom, gradually found peace with his conflicting emotions. He realized that love was not a finite resource, but an ever-expanding capacity of the heart. He could cherish the memories of Mary while embracing the new love that had blossomed in his life. And as he looked at Emily, her eyes filled with warmth and understanding, He knew that their love was a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit to heal, to grow, and to find new beginnings even in the face of loss. One crisp winter morning, as the first snow of the season began to fall, John found himself drawn to the cemetery, a place he had avoided since Mary's passing. The weight of his conflicting emotions, the joy of his newfound love for Emily intertwined with the lingering grief for Mary, had stirred a need within him to seek solace and clarity. He stood before Mary's grave, the inscription on the headstone a poignant reminder of the love they had shared. Beloved wife and companion. The snow fell gently, blanketing the ground in a pristine white shroud, a symbol of purity and renewal. John spoke to Mary, his voice a soft whisper carried on the winter wind. He shared his joys, his fears, his gratitude for the love they had shared, and his apprehension about embracing a new love. Mary, he began, his voice thick with emotion, I miss you dearly. The silence in our home still echoes with your absence, and the memories, though precious, sometimes bring unbearable pain. He paused, his gaze fixed on the snow-covered headstone. But I've met someone, Mary. Her name is Emily, and she's brought light back into my life. She's kind, compassionate, and she understands the depths of my grief. A tear escaped his eye, tracing a path down his weathered cheek. I'm afraid, Mary, he confessed, his voice trembling, afraid that loving Emily will somehow diminish the love we shared, the memories we created. He knelt beside the grave, his hand gently brushing the snow from the headstone. But I also know that you would want me to be happy, to find companionship, to embrace life again. A sense of peace settled over him, a gentle wave washing away the guilt and apprehension. He realized that loving Emily did not betray his love for Mary. It honored it. It was a testament to the enduring power of love, the capacity of the human heart to heal, to grow, and to find new beginnings even in the face of loss. He stood up, his gaze fixed on the snow-covered landscape, a renewed sense of clarity filling his heart. He would cherish the memories of Mary, the love they had shared, the life they had built together. And he would embrace the new love that had blossomed in his life, a love that honored the past while illuminating the path to a future filled with hope and joy. As he turned to leave, a small ginger cat emerged from behind a nearby headstone, its emerald eyes fixed on John with a knowing gaze. Rusty, his loyal companion, had followed him, sensing his need for comfort and support. John knelt down, scooping Rusty into his arms, the cat's warmth a comforting presence against his chest. Thank you, Rusty, he whispered, his voice filled with gratitude. Thank you for always being there for me. Together, man and cat walked away from the cemetery, their footsteps leaving a trail in the freshly fallen snow, a symbolic pathway bridging the past and the present, leading towards a future filled with love, companionship, and the enduring power of connection. The winter holidays approached, bringing with them a festive spirit that filled Willow Creek with twinkling lights, cheerful carols, and the aroma of freshly baked treats. John and Emily, their love a warm glow amidst the winter chill, embraced the season with a shared joy. They decorated John's apartment with festive garlands and a twinkling Christmas tree, their laughter echoing through the cozy space as they reminisced about childhood holidays and shared their favorite traditions. They baked cookies and gingerbread men, their kitchen filled with the sweet scent of cinnamon and ginger. John, inspired by Emily's love for handmade gifts, even took up knitting, his clumsy fingers gradually mastering the art of creating cozy scarves and warm mittens. He presented Emily with a hand-knitted scarf, its vibrant colors a reflection of the joy she had brought into his life. Emily, touched by his thoughtfulness, gifted him a framed photograph of Rusty, captured mid-leap, his playful energy frozen in time. The photograph, a symbol of their shared love for the ginger cat who had brought them together, found a place of honor on John's mantelpiece. They attended the annual Christmas Eve carol service at the local church, their voices blending with the choir in a harmonious celebration of the season. They shared a quiet Christmas dinner, the candlelit table a testament to the intimacy and warmth of their bond. As the new year dawned, John and Emily reflected on the journey that had brought them together. They acknowledged the pain of past losses, the challenges they had faced, and the resilience that had led them to this point. They recognized the tapestry of their lives, woven with threads of love, loss, companionship, and the enduring power of the human spirit. They cherished the memories of those they had loved and lost, honoring their presence in the intricate patterns of their hearts. And they embraced the future with open arms, their love a guiding light, illuminating the path ahead with the promise of shared joys, unwavering support, and the enduring power of connection.